Thank you so much. Now, Vitka, don't disappear yet. You may know her as Dr. Vitka Eisen, but I know her as Wonder Woman. Okay, so she navigates with wisdom and depth and humor and makes HR 360 what it is. I don't know how we could survive without her, so let's give her a round of applause. And one other person I must honor, and that's Dr. David Smith. Dr. David is an icon, and he has been our mentor, our historian, our resident addiction medicine expert. So let's give a round of applause for David so he can hear it in the other room. Let me just introduce my family. First, some of you know Viroy, a lot of you know Viroy, but those who don't, Viroy has been my best friend and president of my fan club for 54 plus years. That's a long time. And in his own right, although he's retired now, he was an extraordinary criminal trial attorney. The stork dropped off 2 babies along the way. Number 1 is baby Adam Chaitin Lefcourt, who's here somewhere. And number 2 baby, Juliet Chaitin Lefcourt, is here somewhere. My children keep me on my toes. They expose me to constant critiquing and re-educating. So what I am today is in a large part attributed to them. So how did I get involved in Health Right? Towards the end of my career, I was presiding in dependency court. For those of you who don't know, dependency court is where abused and neglected children come, and the court tries to figure out what to do. Can they reunite with their families or not? So I would notice that there were these young moms who would come into court who had just given birth to babies. They were withdrawing from drugs. They were bedraggled, they were depressed. It was pathetic. It was an enormous motivating factor for them to get their babies back. And so I sent them to this program called Women's Hope. Now, Women's Hope is a program where the moms can go and they can prove themselves, and then they're reunited with their babies. And they get lots of counseling and therapy and parenting, and at the end of the program, the court has the chance to dismiss the petition that established jurisdiction. In any event, so the moms who looked bedraggled and terrible, they would come back to court once a month, and I would see them bloom before my eyes. You know, their skin sparkled, their hair was nice, they were together, they were engaged. And I would ask them, tell me about this program you're in, because at that point I didn't know anything really about the program, that it belonged to Health Right. And these moms raved about the program. So I thought, wow, we're onto something really good here. At the end of the program, they would come back to court, and I would have the opportunity to dismiss the petition and praise them. And you have to understand that even though we weren't supposed to be emotionally invested, we were really rooting for these moms to do well. The court personnel, the clerk, my court report who are here today, and the social workers, the lawyers. And when they did do as well that I could dismiss their petitions, it was a big deal. It was like a graduation, and I made a little speech, and I have to tell you, there was not a dry eye in the courtroom. We were so proud of these women, and the judge didn't have a dry eye either, and I thought, well, this is not good to see a judge cry. So I developed a little trick. I would pretend I dropped my pencil, and I would bend down under the bench, and I would dab my eyes quickly, and then I would reemerge. But we were so grateful that we had the opportunity to participate in a small way in the mom's recovery. And I think, how come the press never writes about women's hope? And I think it's because no one overdoses. You know, it's tragic, but this is a very successful program that should be replicated throughout the state, throughout the country. So that's how I got involved in Health Right. I found out it was a Health Right program, and I said, you know, I'm going to look into this after I retire. And then Health Right was kind enough to invite me to join the board. 13 years ago, when I joined the board, it was a very different atmosphere. There was a lot of optimism, and people were really interested in our program and wanted to get educated about it and was really interested in drug policy. But as you know, over the past few years, things have become dark. And politicians have weaponized substance use disorder. So instead of it being a health problem, it's been treated as a crime problem. I was very sad to read the statistic that from January through March, there were 50% more overdoses than previously. 192 people died within 3 months from overdoses. I just want to point out that when Health Right ran the Tenderloin Linkage Center for 11 months, we saved 333 people's lives. But somehow that wasn't considered a success. And the program was described as a failure. So somehow the fact that 333 people made it wasn't considered significant. So what do we see now? We're seeing aggressive police sweeps, chasing people from block to block, arresting people for drug usage, minimizing harm reduction, as if anyone can conquer fentanyl through arrest. It just is not going to work. Health Right 360 always based their program on science and best drug practices. Sometimes that's not very popular with some people today, but that's what works. So I would, I don't necessarily feel like a visionary, but if Vitka, who I have enormous amount of respect for, says I'm a visionary, I'll accept it for the night, at least. But I want all of you to become visionaries and continue support of Health Right 360 in our mission to follow science and smart practices. And please join me and Health Right 360 and make health of substance use disorder folks not political. We can't have it be political. It shouldn't be political. It should be science. So spread the word, talk to your friends and neighbors, continue to support us, go bid on our silent auction terrific items, and thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for honoring me. It's been a pleasure to be associated with Health Right 360.
Ellen, we love you.
Oh, nice.
I found Ellen's award. It's see-through, like the little podium.
Oh, thank you. I love it. Woo.
Thank you.
Should I read it? Health Right 360, get better, do better, be better. Healthcare Visionary Award presented to the Honorable Ellen L. Chaitin. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.